We are currently down at Lake and Girard, where a white supremacist, by eyewitness reports, has driven through a protest, a peaceful protest at Lake and Girard, struck and potentially killed somebody. So what happened is everybody was peacefully protesting, and now what we're seeing is cops show up all of a sudden. They came in a rush after a peaceful protester was stricken by a car driven by white supremacists. Eyewitness reports say the car drove through a barricade and then hit a pole, knocked down the pole, hit a car, and then went over several different protesters. So again, a protester out here protesting for justice for Winston Smith has been stricken by a car driven by a white supremacist. Eyewitness reports say that cops all of a sudden showed up right when the car drove through. They apprehended the person driving the car, the white man driving the car. And now what we have right now is we have several cops here. One by the name of X.Lor, X.Lor, L-O-R is his last name. And they are holding the intersection. They're holding the intersection. Mind you, just recently, Mark Ringenberg, killer cop of Jamar Clark, was flying through Uptown. We are here in Uptown right now. It's approximately 12:56 a.m., 6/14/21. And a protester was stricken by a car driven by a white supremacist. That white supremacist has been hauled off. However, the issue is that the cops all of a sudden showed up when the car went through the barricades. Clearly, the cops, we have to presume at some point they might have seen this car. This car was driving, what some said, 50, 60 miles per hour, drove through and was let through, and the cops all of a sudden showed up. Took paramedics 20 minutes, they said. 20 minutes.
And Winston Smith ain't had no gun neither.
And now here we are. Again, a protester was hit by a car driven by a white supremacist. And now we are out here. Cops all of a sudden showed up after this person was hit. And it is 12:57 a.m., 6/14/21. And people are gathering outside of the location where Winston Smith was shot and killed by U.S. Marshals and deputized Ramsey County and Hennepin County Sheriff's Department law enforcement officers. And now a peaceful protester has been struck and injured. We don't know if they've been killed yet. They've been struck and injured by a car, and the cops suddenly showed up afterwards. So people are gathering here at Lake and just off of Lake and Girard, just a block east of Lake and Girard. And the cops are here, and they, again, as we say, a protester was hit by a car driven by a white supremacist, and now the cops have held the intersection, and we have people gathering at Lake and a block east of Lake and Girard. Again, this is the location where a black man, Winston Smith, was shot and killed by U.S. Marshals and deputized Hennepin County and Ramsey County Sheriff's Department law enforcement agents. And now, a week and a half later, during a peaceful protest, the white supremacist has barreled through with the car, struck and injured several protesters, and one of them has been taken away to the hospital. The question is, how did this car get through with this many cops around?